Hey guys, how is everybody doing tonight? It is Wednesday, so time for a live stream, and it's been a busy day. Let me adjust this a little bit. I got scratched by the dog. That was super awesome. I was on the couch last night watching a movie, and the dog started playing, and Charlotte just had her little spaz moment and was running crazy, and then jumped on the couch and scratched me pretty good. But drew a little blood. Wasn't very happy, but just giving everybody a minute to scroll through, stroll through, and I see Mickey M is here. Hello, hello. What are those eggs? African dwarf frog. So actually, they are axolotl eggs. The pair of axolotls I got from the Ohio Fish Rescue. It's been a few months now. I just were keeping them as a pets. I didn't know that they were a pair. I didn't know if they were two females, two males. But it turns out I have a pair of them, and they're axolotls. Like, they're going to spawn. There's not much you really need to do with them, but I pretty much triggered them by giving them big night crawlers. So I typically feed them Sarah O-Nip tabs. Super easy. They suck them down. And I also use carnivore pellets from Hikari. Well, I was at my local hardware store, and they had in like a fresh shipment of night crawlers. So I bought a thing of them, fed them each one a piece, and they were long. Like, I didn't even cut them up. I just dropped in I don't know, they were probably like 3 or 4 inches long, and they just kind of sucked them down. And 2 days later, there was eggs all over the tank, everywhere, on the driftwood, on the Nubius, on the crypts, on the stones and rocks, like everywhere. And at first, I saw them and I didn't realize what they were. I was like, "What is that?" At first, I was like, "Oh, it's an egg," but then it looked weird. It looked like something. It looked like fungused up food at first. And so I did a quick search on Google, because I didn't plan on them breeding at all. So I did a quick search on Google for a picture of an axolotl egg, and what it is, it's an egg, and then surrounded heavily by this. It's basically like a gel. So the egg is tiny, but then it's got this big clear gel bowl around it. And I was like, oh, they spawned, cool. I'm like, maybe they'll be fertilized. I don't know. Maybe I have two females. And so I went ahead and pulled just some of the eggs out. I basically had one little piece of Anubias that had like branched off and was growing like a new plant. And so there were some eggs attached to that. So I just pulled that plant out. I left all the other eggs in the tank. And I know they'll be eaten by the parents and they'll be eaten by their siblings. I wasn't planning on breeding these right now, so I'm okay with the natural selection of the order, but I did want to pull some eggs out to monitor them closely. I have them in one of my Lee's critter tanks. It's what I use on my beta rack, and I just want to monitor to see if they are fertilized, and kind of just, it's my first time ever seeing them spawn, so I want to like kind of watch this whole process of the eggs developing. So I checked them before I did this live stream, and they are fertilized. They are growing. I believe it takes a couple weeks for the eggs to hatch, if I remember right. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's like 14 days, somewhere around there, for the eggs to hatch. Once they're hatched, I plan on just feeding them baby brine shrimp, and then once they get big enough, they will eat each other. So you have to separate them out. That's another thing. Like, I don't have 200 separate containers for them. So I think the best thing to do is whatever I end up hatching out is keep them sized together. Because if you get a racer, which is basically one that gets the lion's share of food, it gets bigger quicker. And then it basically hogs all the food and then it eats all the small ones. If it fits in an axolotl's mouth, they will eat it. And people might not like what I'm about to say, but I think it's a natural thing. But I use my axolotls to cull any of my small fish. So instead of killing off fish, if I have a guppy that has a bent spine or something like that, I put them in the axolotl tank. And axolotls eat them. It's a natural food source for them. I think it's better than euthanizing the fish. I don't do that with everything. Last year, all my cull guppies actually went to an outdoor pond. And they were mainly ones with like bent spines. And they end up spawning out in the pond. And it wasn't like a genetic defect. It turned out to be because all of their fry were completely fine. So I think the bent spine is just from being like when they're birthed. I think it's something that happens either when they're still in their mother or as they're coming out. I don't know. But so yeah, so anything that's got issues goes to the axolotl tank as a different food source for them. But I'm kind of excited to see how many grow. And these are just wild type axolotls. They're nothing crazy. They're not like albinos or... there's all these different terms for them. There's a term, I forget what it's called, when it's like all black. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. But let me check up on the chat. I have a lot to talk about. It's been a crazy week. And today was even more crazy. I wish I had a picture. I could show you guys a picture of my truck from today. But I'll talk about that in a minute. And it's all fish related. So it's not car related, but it is fish related. This is driving me nuts. I keep thinking I see dirt on my face, but it's like a scratch. Charlotte, she was a bad girl. So anyways, let me see this chat and see how everybody's doing. Griffin and Bob's here. Chevy Fish. Small Fry Aquax, hello. Cichlids 23, good to see you, bud. Zen's here. Hello, Zen. She said, hi, Charlotte. So she must have been, yep, she's walking out now. I was going to say, it must have been behind me. Mikey's here. That's my coworker. He says, too cold for that shirt, bud. So I unloaded, I don't know, a few 100 pounds worth of aquarium goods, and then I just had to do water changes on all the tanks. And working in the fish room, it's 75 degrees and it's humid, so this is the shirt I wear. So Mikey is not a cold weather person at all. He is the first one to complain in the shop when it's cold, and he went out and bought his own like 220 volt heater to put on his toolbox at work, because he's a cold kind of guy. But anyways, let me keep moving through. Small Fry said, Axolotl's great. No, I'm not going to sleep tonight. Creepy varmints. They're kind of cool. There's a couple times they've surprised me. I could, like, with the bigger one, which I don't know if it's the male or female, but the bigger one will basically almost eat from my hands with the O-nip tabs. It's kind of like a little dog. Like, as soon as I start walking towards the tank, it comes out of its cave, and it sits there and watches me. And then I'll take an O-nip tab, get above the surface, and it kind of like slowly raises up, and then I can dip it in the water and it'll grab it. But it's so quick. Axolotls are fast. It's like a water snake. They can just lunge, and they can grab food really quickly. They're basically like a catfish. Their mouth, when it opens up, it creates a suction. So like a little fish swims by, they can just gulp them right down. But somebody asked, I don't know where it went, about how big they are. Honestly, I don't know the length of them. The one's probably maybe 10 inches, and the other one's like an inch or so shorter. So maybe 9 to 10 inches. I don't know how old they are. They were dropped off at Ohio Fish Rescue, and when I was up there, and then, you know, like I said, this was months ago, um, they got rehomed to me. So I don't know their backstory. I just know they're a wild type axolotl. Mickey asked how large they were. Okay, I think I'm catching up. Okay. Bob says, Steven, the males have little testes, you can see. I've honestly never even looked. So maybe I'll check them, uh, look up their skirts tonight or tomorrow and see. At least I can, because one of them's got a little bit more white patching on its head than the others. So it's real easy to tell them apart. I'm guessing the female is the one. There's one that always hides constantly in the in the cave, most of the day, and then it'll come out and venture around. The bigger one is like always out. It'll go into the cave a little bit, but most of the time it's out in the open. You know, it's not super active, but it's at least out of the cave. I did the natural rock. It's cobblestone with. I had this real nice piece of driftwood that was long that I put on top to make kind of like an overhang, and then the smaller one kind of dug out the sand further against the rock pile. So it's actually they made their own like little cave system. It's pretty cool. But anyways, Small Fry says, "Oh yeah, very cute. Eats from your hand until he jumps and rips a vein out your neck." Well, I mean, it's not like a snakehead or anything like that, but I don't think it would really do any damage. But even my sister, she's a school teacher, and she wants me to do like a video on them to show her kids in her class like some scientific information on it. And I really need to do more research myself on it. I know the basics, but I need to really learn more about them before I could try to educate somebody else. I don't want to give out any misinformation on it, but she sent me a picture. She saw an axolotl. It was like a plushy toy, but it was like a round ball, and it had like the little gills on top. I'm like, it looks nothing like an axolotl, but I guess that's the theme of like whatever toy brand this is. It's just like a round ball, and then they try to make it look like some certain animal. But so, anyways, Mickey said the ones that you fed in a video live stream. Yes, that was them. I think I did a slow motion video when I first got them of them eating. Jerry's here. Hello, Jerry. So let's talk about this week. This past week, the last 7 days have been probably the highest amount of fish I have shipped to date. Hundreds of fish. I'm probably down to maybe 5 to 10 cardinal tetras, when like 2 weeks ago there was probably 400 in my fish room. So I've had a ton of cardinal tetra sales. They skyrocketed. I had multiple like 20 count sales, and I had one guy buy like 40 of them. Had somebody else buy 30 of them. I sold all the betas. They're gone. I don't plan on bringing more betas in. I kind of want to redo that rack to smaller tanks so I can get more of them. Because once I had all these tanks set up, I realized the betas honestly don't need a huge tank. You always see them in cups. I don't believe in the cups, but they don't need the bigger tanks I gave them, because they're always in basically one spot. They're not swimming around like a regular fish. They kind of just chill. They either like lay on the bottom, and then like once they think they're being fed, they swim up to the front. But other than that, they're very chill. So I think I want to downsize. I'm not talking about making them tiny, but maybe half the size they're in now, and that way I can fit more of them, and then do a different rack. I do want to make a custom rack versus just the stuff I threw together. but I'm going to put that off until I do the whole garage thing and see how that goes. I haven't brought any more fish in just because with shipping and everything going on, and also trying to expand, I don't want to have to deal with doing 30-day quarantines on new species and then having to break down everything to move it into the garage once I get to that point. But so today, I do believe Ohio Fish Rescue already mentioned this, so I think I can tell this part without getting in trouble. So I've been doing a lot of work with Ohio Fish Rescue, and I sell them products that they need. I give them, basically it's like cost plus a few percent, just to help boost my sales up a little bit, but I'm trying to help them out as much as possible. But they are doing a gravel rescape of the 4,400 gallon aquarium, and they want all white gravel. I forget what's in it now. I think it's might be like a natural color, but they want like all white gravel. So they bought, I'm looking at my list of my shipping list that came in today. They bought 60 25-pound bags of gravel, and so I knew that was going to come on a semi truck. So I was like, all right, let me make one big order and get as much stuff as I can on this semi truck that I can afford right now. So needless to say, the pallet that got in today was 2,500 pounds worth of stuff, and I didn't know it was going to be that much. I knew with the gravel and stuff like that, it was going to weigh quite a bit. The Ohio Fish Rescue gravel was 1,500 pounds worth, and then I added another 1,000 pounds on top of that. So putting that pallet into my truck today, the truck did get a little bit lower to the ground, but made it home. So I had to unload a bunch of that right after work, and then do water changes and try to start getting stuff into inventory. But I figured I mentioned some stuff I brought in that's not on the website. It might not be on the website for at least a few days, because I do give like subscribers first dibs on stuff like that. I did get Marison 2 8 counts back in stock. Those were sold out, and they finally got some, so I brought in a bunch. Fritzheim 7, which is this. I use the gallon size around my house because I use this a lot, but I sell the 16 ounce, which is like your standard bottle. I brought those in, and a lot of stuff's been out of stock from Fritz. So as soon as I see stuff that comes in stock, I try to buy it as quickly as possible. Sorry. I did get some Carib Sea supernatural sand. It's a sand I've used before. It's in my 75 gallon, and it's in all the import tanks. So I end up buying, I'll just read them off. The Crystal River. I don't know the names to the colors off the top of my head. These are mostly lighter color sands, like the real white, like bright white, and then a little bit duller white. But I brought in 20 bags of the Crystal River, 20 bags of the Torpedo Beach, 20 bags of Sunset Gold. I ordered 20, but only got 10 of the Moonlight sand. And then I also brought in a 50-pound bag of the Sunset Gold. And I'm assuming that when I ordered this, I had a plan to use that, so that's why I bought a 50-pound bag of it. I did get Paracleanse 10 counts. Those are back in stock. They should already be on the website. They've been out of stock for a long time. My last order, I was able to get the 20 counts in, and now I got the 10s. Sorry. API test strips. Those have been out of stock for a while. I was able to get those. What is... Oh, plant and shrimp stratum. I did get all 3 sizes. I don't think those are on the website yet. And then Hikari X has been out of stock, but I did bring in the pond concentrate. It's the same stuff, it's just a higher concentration level. I gotta see what the price difference is, because it is more expensive because you're getting a ton more in each bottle. But I want to not like jump the price up on the Hikari X a ton, so I gotta see what the price difference is. I did bring in some of that, and there's just some other like little random things that were out of stock that I got back in. Let's see what is going on, and I'll probably take you guys out into the fish room here in a few minutes to show you the axolotl eggs. They're at the point now that they're clearly, you can clearly tell that they are developing. If you put them in warmer water, so they're in my fish room, so the water temp's probably 72, 73, which is on the upper end of axolotls of what you want to keep them at. They'll hatch quicker. Once they hatch, I'll start cooling them down, and then I'll bring them into the house. Inside my house is probably 68 degrees, and that's where the adults are. So they stay at least 68. Sometimes it gets like a degree or two warmer or a degree or two cooler. Let me see where we are at in the chat. Bob says something about the where'd it go? Yeah, they're bad or third off for a leg but grows back. So the cool thing about axolotls, a lot of scientists, I don't want to say a lot of scientists, but scientists have been exploring their genes or DNA or whatever, because axolotls are able to regrow. Got Havana coming up in my lap right now. You can see her. They're able to regrow their limbs. So if they a sibling rips off one of their legs, or if they lose part of their tail, they can regrow them, which is really cool. Let me see. Bob says, just videoed a double rainbow. How cool. Yeah, I wonder how you guys are doing. The Midwest right now is getting hammered with rain. Everything around me is flooding. My local creek is a lake right now. Ohio's been getting rain nonstop. Well, I don't want to say nonstop, but every single day, most of the day. Like all week. And it's supposed to keep raining, I think, until Friday. And then it's supposed to stop and be actually pretty nice Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. But it's been raining for the last 2 or 3 days, and we still got 2 more days of it. And it rained a ton. I think it was Monday night, like at midnight, for like 3 hours. It was just downpouring. My chat jumped somehow. I'm back to where Bob's talking about the testes. Jerry says, I will be going up that way next week, driving through Ohio. Need to stop by and visit your fish room. Yeah, let me know what day and what time, I guess, or time frame you think you'll be up here. And I'll see if we can meet up. Mickey says it's getting better every week. 65 degrees, sunny days. Zen, thank you for posting the links to the website. Hey. Tension. She's an attention whore. She really is. Her and Charlotte. I'm surprised Charlotte's not in here, which means she's probably doing something she shouldn't be doing. Like a little toddler. Cichlids23 says, do you have those CO2 caps for live baby brine? I don't even know, honestly, what you're talking about. CO2 caps. Are you talking about the 2-liter bottle caps that like allow you to attach like a air tube line? That's the only thing I can think of that you're talking about. I do have some, not for sale. I have some that I used on a do-it-yourself 2-liter CO2 setup I ran on one of my 29s like a long time ago. I haven't even used it in forever. I will leave Texas Thursday, stop in Arizona, then be in Ohio Friday afternoon. Arizona is like the wrong way, Jerry. That's heading west. You gotta head northeast. But where to go? Cichlids, if that's what you're talking about as far as the caps, what I use on my brine shrimp hatchery, it's a water bottle. Oh, that lid was not on. It's just a water bottle, and I drilled a hole and just shoved an air line through it. And I think I might put like some hot glue or something on it to seal it. Oh, you said AR, not AZ, Arkansas. My bad. My bad, I just read it as AZ. I was thinking Arizona. Mickey says, how many axolotl eggs did you save for now, Steven? I think there's probably maybe 10. We can go check it out. You want to get down? Go on. Go. Go on. Yeah, let's go check this out. We'll hit the axolotl tank first. Honestly, I haven't even looked in there today. I don't even think I looked in there yesterday. Charlotte's on the couch, so. Alright, let's see. Oh man, I'm getting algae like crazy on my glass. There hasn't been any algae. I haven't cleaned the glass on this tank once yet. Sorry, the light's probably... all this algae growing. That's crazy. But you can see the eggs there, and they're actually developing too. See if I can zoom in. So they start round, and now you can see they're getting elongated. Oh, there goes one of the axolotls, just zipped into the cage. There's the other one. So this is the driftwood I have set up, and this is just a rock pile. They actually like dug out, and this little cave, I call it, actually goes back to here. So that axolotl is like, can go all the way under there, but it's actually up top right now. You can see the tail on the back foot. But there's eggs all over here, all over the plants. You can see them everywhere. There's one of the axolotls right there. But yeah, they laid it. I'm just letting nature take its course as far as anything that's in that tank. I need to do a water change on it. But let's look at the ones that are in here. I'm gonna flip you around. So this is that plant I was talking about. It's just a piece that broke off and then started sprouting new growth. So there were some eggs on it. Let me see if I can count. It's going to be hard to count 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's probably like 15 in here. They look like little. They look like little poops. Hopefully this is clear for you guys. It looks clear on my end. But you know, they start off as a little round dot, and now they're growing out. And you can see the gel that I was talking about. Those eggs just look like they fungused. Huh? Well, no, that one's not round anymore. We'll see how it goes. Oh, here's one that's a little closer. Trying to see if there's any ones that have like a really good angle for you guys. I'm using a clear container so I can tell it's trying to focus on my dryer, but oh, hey, that one's moving. Check that out. Focus. I'm trying to focus for you guys. It's, you know, a phone trying to. That one on the left was just moving. Oh, you can see him move a little bit. So these guys are definitely progressing way quicker because it is. Is my temp gun out here? All right, my temp gun's not out here. I was gonna say I checked the temp of the water. The room's like 75 degrees, 76 degrees, so the water temp's usually only a couple degrees lower. But I read online that it's okay to raise. This is driving me nuts. I keep seeing it in the corner of my eye. I did read that you can raise up the temp a few degrees and it helps them hatch quicker. So that's why they're out there. I could just leave them in here, but I wanted them to hatch quicker. And looks like they're doing pretty good. The eggs in the tank, like if I was trying to breed these guys for a profit, I would have pulled all the eggs out. But I'm not ready to have 200 axolotls. I don't know how well they'll sell if I had 200, but they're pretty cool. They're real easy to spawn. I didn't mean to spawn them. It was just happened. So let me get to the chat. I got Charlotte like right up here against the phone. Cichlids, I can't find them. eBay has them for like $5 each, which is redonkulous. I end up buying a kit. When you're talking about the CO2 caps, I don't even know where mine's at right now because I took that all down. It was the CO2 like 2-liter kit where it came with like the pressure gauge and all that stuff. I don't even remember how much it was. It was probably $15. Mickey says embryo poops. I mean, that's at first glance, that's what it looks like. It looks like a little mouse turd. What's the normal axolotl price? So I've seen anywhere from like $15 up to like $30 for like a wild type. And then there's people that sell like the albino ones and like the pink ones. I don't know the name of the pink ones off the top of my head. I think they have a specific name. But they can sell like $80 a piece. And there was some website where I saw some that were some like rare type, some rare gene that were, I think they were listed for like $300 a piece. But I think it's like kind of like if you guys know about ball pythons, how they have the different genetics to like for colors and patterns. It's kind of like the same thing. The cooler the looking axolotl, the more expensive it is. Zen says leucistic. That's one of them. I forget there's another name for like another type. Now I got a pit bull laying on me. Can you see these dogs? So anyways, I just realized I do have one betta left. It's in this tank. I needed one extra tank for a betta I got. So I stuck it in with my green Cory cats, and then I never listed it for sale. So there is a betta. Yeah, you can actually see it. It's right Hey, it's up there in the corner, right there. It's a super red. Let me. Chevy Fish says that is the normal growth of the larvae. Yeah, I mean, it's the round egg dot and then it grows into the poop. I'm going to coin that. That's the axolotl poop stage of the growth. And then you can clearly tell, you can see like they got their head, you can see like the outline of their heads. And I'm trying to think. See, I don't even know what day they technically laid those eggs, because I was feeding them the worms, and then I don't know if I like took a day off of feeding them, but it was within like 2 or 3 days of starting to feed them the worms that I saw. I didn't even see it. Like, it was like boom, eggs everywhere. But also in the last day or two, the algae shot up in that tank, so I probably need to do a water change, because that's probably a sign of excess nutrients in the water. I do have a Fluval 3.0 Nano above that tank. It's not running max power because axolotls actually don't like bright light, so it only runs. It runs like a normal day period of light. It's just not full power. It does its sunrise. This is how I get scratched. These nails. But yeah, sunrise, sunset. I get all distracted. 70 pounds. Havana is 70 pounds. A beefy dog. She's not fat, but she's not fit. She's just thick. She's solid though. She's very muscular. And then Charlotte's she's like a little greyhound. She's super thin. Chevy Fish said, "What colors are USB pumps?" I typically stock all of the colors, but right now I can't get them. The only one I have is green, so it's basically the same thing that Aquarium Co-op has. Normally I'd go for the black, red, and blues. I've also had yellows. Personally, I like the black ones because they're stealthy. It's easy to hide them like on a shelf or behind a tank. But they were sold out of all the colors except for the green ones. So I brought in green ones. And they're awesome. I gave a handful of them to Ohio Fish Rescue because they're super awesome to clip onto a 5-gallon bucket. And most cars have some sort of USB charger in them, whether or not you have like a cigarette lighter adapter, or most cars nowadays have a USB port built into them, usually to either charge your phone or for music. Whether you plug like an iPod or your iPhone or Android, whatever. My truck's got like 4 USB ports in it that's like built into it. 2 are for music and 2 are just to charge. But so I gave them some, and then I know when I was up there 2 weekends ago, Josh and I ran to the store. We were looking for lighter fluid to start a fire, and I saw that he had one of the USB pumps in his door pocket. So he keeps one in his Audi for just in case he ever needs one. There's one tucked in the car. I always keep one in my truck because I never know when somebody's going to want to sell me fish or if I come across fish. But yeah, I use them a lot. That's what's on the 55-gallon acrylic tank. The Pleco tank has a USB nano pump hanging on the back of it. There's actually 2 of them. And I'm running 2. I wanted to just run 1 and Y split it, but it turns out I didn't have any airline tees laying around. I have packages of them to sell, but I didn't want to like waste a package for 1 tee. So I had 2 USB air pumps laying around, so I just put 2 pumps on it. But you can definitely run 2 air stones off of 1 pump, no problem. Cichlids said, my daughter told me yesterday the problem is my male pisto. She says he's coming on way too strong and the female ain't having it. Zen says, I prefer the mouse turd stage. Let me... Oh, so I have these black... I'm sure you guys know my black convict cichlids, also from Ohio Fish Rescue. I started splitting them off into the sumps. So I'm trying to get that 10-gallon tank freed up. So I've been moving them down to the 20-gallon longs because these guys are jumping, and I don't have lids on that top rack because the way I have like the water pipe set up on it, it'd be a really pain in the butt to make lids. I could do it, it would be a lot of work. So I've been moving them down to the sumps, and I noticed I had two that jumped to the second level into a 20 long, not into a sump, but into my, it was a tank I had diamond tetras in. It's empty now. I just noticed there's babies in that tank now. So I got all these convict cichlids I can't sell. They're listed for like 99 cents. Just trying to get rid of them, trying to help Ohio Fish Rescue out. Haven't sold a single one of these things, and now I have babies of them. So I think we'll get on the local like Facebook groups and try to get rid of them because I'm going to have hundreds of these things and I can't get rid of them. So I think next up will be place an order. You can get some free cichlids if you want them. Cichlids said, I was dying laughing, 16-year-old saying the boy's being a punk. FX Show 1 said, do you have a 20-gallon tall setup? I have one. I'd like to see yours if you have one. So I only have 120 tall, and it's not set up. It's a hospital tank. It's just a spare tank I have sitting in the fish room that if I need to do a salt bath treatment, that's what it's there for. It's not... it's actually empty. It's not like cycled or anything. It's basically for using for salt water. But that's the only 20 tull I have. I have 629s. I probably have 15, 20 longs, 355s, a 75, a 10-gallon bow front, which is that one. That's roughly 15 gallons. It's a fluval. That was actually a saltwater tank, which do not do a saltwater nano tank. It was a pain in the butt. And then a ton of 10 gallons. Oh, I'm sleepy. It's been a busy day. And work is busy. Work picked back up, which is nice. It makes the days go by a lot quicker. And the internet, I guess, as far as like work picking up, last month was the highest sales I had so far with the fish business, which is awesome. Thank you guys for the support. They seem to tapered off a little bit this month. Like fish quantity sales went up, but like hard goods went down a bit. I think people are going back to work, so they're probably not at home as much playing around with their tanks. But business has been pretty good. I'm hoping this trend keeps growing and growing, and I don't have to work on cars forever. But, you know, that's not even a future goal right now, or a soon goal. It's going to be a while before I can quit my day job. Girl, you scratch me, I'm going to beat you. But yeah, so I hope everybody's been doing good and is surviving all right. C23, it's the flashy colors like they're always in a midlife crisis. FX Show said, agreed. I tried a nano saltwater, thumbs down. Yeah, I ran it for a year. So it was like the 12-month mark. I was like, I'm done with this. I had 2 clowns and a Watchman Goby in it. And I just didn't really enjoy it. Like, it was cool for like the first. I mean, honestly, I lost interest in it really quickly. Um, I say for the first month, it was cool having clownfish, and the Watchman Goby was fun to watch, right? But after like a few months, I'm like, this thing is so much work making salt water to do the water changes and with parameters and the light on it. It's like a kit. It's like an all-in-one kit. The light is powerful enough to do like coral stuff. Well, I didn't run corals, so the light just wanted to basically make a huge algae farm. So that was a pain in the butt. And then I was starting to get like some cyanobacteria towards the end, and I'm like, I'm just done with this. So I end up, I think I sold the Watchman Goby and maybe rehomed the clowns. I don't even remember, but I got rid of them, rehomed them, and then it's now got driftwood and some plants and some adult emerald green cory cats that I want to spawn and then try to grow some babies from that. But yeah. So not really sure. I don't think I'll probably put anything else in there. If I put anything in, it's a 15-gallon. So the focus is cories on that tank. If I put anything in there, I might do like some Phoenix Rasbora, something really small. Let me see this chat. Oh, I've been in Puerto Lucas Brats. I'm in top chat, not live chat. Cichlids says she ain't missing any meals. If you're talking about Havana, you are correct. And she's on the Purina One, like, healthy diet, where it's like, 25% less fat and all that stuff. And she just, 70 pounds is her number. She just holds it. She's a little tank. I guess that's the best way to describe her, as a tank. Zen said, Havana, don't let him lie to you. He won't beat you. Nah, she's my girl. Mickey says, sometimes hard to get hold of. Only Episto females, often sold in pairs. That is correct. Most shops, or not shops, most wholesalers will either sell pairs or nothing listed. So if you order, it's like the German blue rams, they're not sold in pairs through the wholesaler that I get them from. They're just listed as German blue rams, so you never know if you're going to get like 20 males or 20 females. And then they're all small, so it's like, for me, it's I'm not well versed enough in German blue rams to really know, like, when they're tiny, if what's a male, what's a female. From like reading online, it's you try to look for a little bit of color on the bellies for a female. And I had a guy locally come pick up. Did he buy one? I think he just wanted a female, and I said I picked the one that looked the most like a female, had the color on the belly and whatnot. But like, I don't like guaranteeing somebody when they're looking for a specific fish like that. Like, if I can't clearly tell, like, hey, this is a female or this is a male, I don't like guaranteeing anything like that. You know, with guppies, guppies are super easy if it's a male or female. You can look across the room. Like I'm looking at my 29 gallon. It's 8 feet away. I can see which one's a male and which one's a female. Super easy. Um, Even when they're juveniles or, I mean, fry, you can't tell like when they're fresh fry, but after a few weeks, you can definitely tell like, hey, that's a female or that's a male. Um, but with German blue rams, I'm just not well versed in them. Um, this is the first time I've even had them before. Smell Fry Aquatic said, I have a friend who put their dog on a keto vegan veggie thing. My assumption is they have more time than brains, just put down less friskies. Yeah, so these girls, the only food they get other than they obviously get breakfast and dinner. Um, the only other thing they eat outside of that is I will give them the greenies, um, like every few days. The dentist sticks that help um, with like bad breath and with like tartar buildup and stuff like that. And I tell you, the stuff actually works. Like Charlotte had some bad breath for a little while, and like a week of greenies or like dentist sticks, like fix that right up. And Havana, when I got her, they're both rescues, but Havana was, I think, almost 8 years old when she got rescued. Her teeth were all jacked up. Actually, had to pay to have her front like lower teeth removed. Um, the I forget what happened. Like they were growing into each other or something, but one like started rotting. You want to talk about a terrible smell? It's almost as bad as a dead nearite snail. Like it was horrendous. And I took her in the vet, and I was like, man, like there's something going on in her mouth. Like it smells horrendous. And so she had to have surgery and get her teeth removed. Just like the little incisors, or I don't know what they're called, the little baby teeth in the front. But yeah, so I started using dentist sticks, and their teeth are doing really well. Mickey says temp decides the gender when breeding pistos. Would be a good thing to breed 70% females as possible, and then sell them in groups of 6 to 10 with juveniles. I never bred a pisto, so I have not any clue. Chevy Fish said at SC, is your Sarah O Nips the new or the old version? And how many Pascal rainbows do you have? So anything that's listed on the website as far as O Nips is the old style. I bought as much of the old style as possible, and unfortunately, the last shipment I got in was all the new style. I did not list any of the new style on the website, so that's why some of it says out of stock, because I'm letting everything that's the old version sell out, and then once it's sold out, I'm going to redo the products to show, hey, this is the new version. The only new version I have is actually the spirulina one. Um, the last order, the spirulina was the new version. The regular ONIP treat tabs were still the old version. Um, I'm trying to think off the top of my head what's left in stock. So if you're looking for spirulina, I have a ton of the 100 counts. All of the 24, like the little boxes, somebody bought every single one I had. Those are sold out. But the 100 counts are still the old version. And then I think on the regular ONIP tabs, I think all I have left is, I know I have like the big jar, 265 tabs. I think I have one or two of those left, maybe. And then I can't remember if I have any of the 24 counts. And then you said, how many Pascal rainbows do you have? Uh, I'd have to go see how many I think are left. There's only probably a handful of them left. And then I think I'm out of. I had Rocket Achilles. I think I'm sold out of those. I'm trying to think what else I have. Everything else that like I typically keep is still available. Like I said, the Cardinal Tetras are down to I think a group of 5. There might be like 10 left, but I'm only confident that I can sell 5 because I always give like some extras when I sell. Um, so I think I have a group of 5 left, and then I'll probably just throw in if there's like 4 extras. I'll just throw those all in with that order. I think. Oh, Haley's here. Hello, Haley. Oddball Aquatics. Mickey said he keeps most of his Apistos in 77 degrees. Can you guys hear? Can you hear this one? I'm trying to keep my eye on the clock. Dan's Fish is after me, guys. You guys hear me say this every week. Make sure you check his channel out. He also sells fish online. I don't think he sells hard goods or anything. It's just fish. But he keeps a lot of cool stuff in stock and whatnot. So check out his channel. He usually does. Oh, Bob said Dan is off tonight. Okay. Well, never mind. Just kidding. Just kidding. Cichlid said I forgot what day it was. Zen just said I believe Dan's taking this week off. I'll double check. I'm guessing. Bob, I think you're probably a moderator for him. I think Bob is like a mod for everybody. She's over there coughing. She's got the Rona. See all these boxes? Wait. How do I do this? Boxes everywhere, guys. I need a warehouse. That's another reason I want to convert the garage into a fish room, so that way the current fish room can go back into a storage room. And to be honest, I want to make it like a full like inventory room. So do a ton of shelving, very closely spaced. Like, so if this is a shelf, have another shelf like right here, and just run that all the way up. And that way I can get the products. Products are everywhere in the house. So this is mirrored on my phone, I guess. Right? Yeah, so this door right here, over here on this side, is like the YouTube office / inventory room. That's where I keep like the fish foods. There's another door, so like this door on this side is a spare room, which has like all the Phoenix Stingray lights, all the Fluval 3.0 lights, and the bigger stuff, Lee specimen containers, substrates. So I have 2 rooms in my house that have inventory. Then I got stuff in my kitchen, on the kitchen table. And I have my family room out here, like on the backside couch. There's shipping boxes because, you have to order these boxes and they come like 25 or 50 in like a bundle. And with shipping online, the best thing to do is have the smallest box possible, because everything's done by size and weight. So you want to basically try to be as space conscious as possible, and smaller box also weighs less. So you have to have like all these different size boxes, and just it's all square footage. It's all room that I need. So I think if I move the fish room out to the garage, I get a ton more tank space. That's a big goal to have, is quadrupling how many tanks I have, because then I could really bring in a lot more variety of fish. but having that whole room as localized inventory, like I want to have a table with my. I'll have to get like another computer, which I can build a computer for cheap, so not a big deal. But um, I want to have a computer out there so I can print my shipping labels and have the scale, and then that way you can pull all the dry goods, have it all in one room, and then the fish room, if it's in the garage, I can have a shipping table for that. Because right now, like I'm bagging fish in the fish room, then I bring them into the kitchen. That's where like the heat sealer is. That's where the oxygen tank is. Um, I've been shipping strictly UPS now with live fish. Have had 100% success rate, like no broken boxes, no crazy DOAs. I think the shipment, one of my shipments, I shipped out like cardinals and rummy nose. One rummy nose died out of the shipment. Not a big deal because I shipped extras anyways. Same thing with the cardinals. I don't think there was. I think he said there was no deaths on the cardinals, but I shipped extras anyways, just in case. So I've been having really, really, really good luck with UPS. So I'm going to continue to use them for shipping fish. I still ship USPS for like dry goods, unless there's like the random case where UPS makes more sense. And a good example is I've been selling Matten filters, so the Hamburg Matten filter, which is basically like a ginormous sponge filter. In case you don't know, those are a pain in the butt to ship because they're so big. They're not heavy at all, but they're big. So like this box right here, this is just for Matten filters. That's the only reason I have this group of boxing. It's a 20-inch by 15 by 15-inch box. And when buying boxes, I have to be smart. Like, that's a huge box. Well, when somebody buys just one Matten filter, I don't need a 15-inch tall box. So I actually cut the boxes down to like 3 inches tall, because to ship a 20 by 15 by 15 box is like super crazy expensive with like no weight to it. It could weigh like only a pound or less, and it still costs a ton of money because it's big. And see this? She's holding my hand now. So, but I bought the big box because if somebody buys 5 of a filter, I need to be able to fit 5 filters in it. So there's a box for everything. There's another thing of boxes. I find it fun. Honestly, it's fun, like the logistics of the business side. I find it a lot of fun. I like doing inventory checking and ordering, and making sure I don't run out of shipping supplies. Like, it's a lot of fun to me. I just wish to be to the scale where I could do this full time, because it's hard to do. Because like with shipping, I come home on my lunch break on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, and I'm bagging fish, and it takes a lot of time to really, because the orders could be 40 cardinal tetras and that's it. That's super easy. Cardinal tetras are like the easiest fish I have to catch, especially when you have a tank of like 200 of them. You just take a net and you got them all, right? Well, when they order some of the like Cory cats, pygmy Corys are the hardest I've found to catch. They're so small and they're so fast. That's probably my least favorite fish right now to catch is Cory cats. Most of the other fish, though, they're so trained, I guess would be the word, for feeding. So I feed them, when I get home from work. As soon as I walk in the room, they're like up on the front glass. So a lot of them are super easy to catch. But the Corys, they're a lot more shy. And it's kind of weird. The green Corys and the albino Corys aren't really that shy. But the Julii, and the Pilatus cories are kind of shy, and then the pygmy cories are like they're gone. Like as soon as I walk in, they're zipping like to the far back of the tank, and they're hiding under the sponge filter, and they're a pain in the butt to catch. They really are. You guys see this? Yeah, they're cuddlers for sure. But yeah, so I know Dan's not on, but I do want to kind of relax tonight, so I'll probably be getting off of here. I'm trying to think of anything else I want to update you guys on. I don't really have anything else to really talk about. Just kind of like hanging out with you guys. It's cool seeing you guys talk about the pistos. I wasn't keeping up on chat, and the first thing I just see when I click on it is Moonstone saying at Kaler's Aquatics, your loaf is giving me fits, man. Turns out almond flour has 0 gluten. Figured it out, took a minute. So, not sure what you're talking about, but apparently something about bread. There's my 3D printer. I'm going to be printing off plaques for Ohio Fish Rescue. There. Now I got this one, guys. I'm telling you, it's like toddlers. They're always like on you. But yeah, anyways, Nick said, what 3D printer? It's a Creality Ender 3 Pro. There's motion in my driveway. Somebody's in my driveway. It's probably a cat. Oh my gosh. I'll have to get... I don't know if I can do it. Charlotte has a brother. His name's Spots. So her name was Dots. Her brother's name's Spots. Well, when I adopted her, I couldn't keep her name Dots. So I named her Charlotte. Anyways, she has a brother who my sister adopted. So I have the girl, and my sister's got the boy. So I should try to get her brother over here for a live stream, but he's nuts. He's very, he's kind of like hyper, but he's also skittish. He's afraid of everything. And he's basically normal. He's got like an elbow deformity, so he kind of, his joints didn't grow correctly, basically. So he kind of walks like a bulldog. Charlotte's deaf. That was her deformity. But that's why they were up for adoption or for rescue. But anyways, my sister has them, so I've never had them at my house. I don't know how that would go, but I think that could be a cool live stream to see how that does work out. But I need to wait until this rain's over, so that way I can put them outside. My sister doesn't have a fenced yard. Their homeowner association doesn't allow fences, so they have to walk their dogs. I think bring him over here with my fenced yard, and he can run around, not on a leash would be pretty cool for him. So maybe I'll do that one weekend. We'll see how that goes. But Moonstone says both dogs have the same face. They seem to love you so much. Yeah, they do. I'm lucky. They're good dogs. This. So I got her as a puppy. It was challenging because she is deaf. So training, potty training a deaf dog was difficult. I'm so tired. I just want to yawn. Sorry, guys. Because when a dog... So Havana, she was 8 years old. And I'm pausing on the Charlotte story because I want to start with Havana first because I got her first. She was 8 years old and was a breeding dog at a puppy mill. And she basically... Oh, no. Getting a low battery warning. She basically was pumping out babies in a kennel. And she got rescued, and then I adopted her. She never saw a toy before, like, but she was awesome. And the way that she literally came like at the perfect time in my life, like she was a godsend for sure. Um, my friend was fostering her, and she was heartworm positive. The treatment for that is very hard on dogs. Well, my friend was going out of town, and they were taking their dogs with them, but because Havana was on this treatment, they didn't want to get her like all excited, like in a car ride and all that stuff. So they asked if I would watch her for the weekend. I said sure. So I go to their house, and like she was like barking at me and whatnot. Bring her home. She had no accidents at my house. Um, and like she was just awesome to hang out with. But what really sold me on her, because I'm a car guy. I have a truck. Like I'm a truck guy. I was taking her back, and she was just sitting in the front seat of my truck, like perfectly just sitting there, just looking out the window. Wasn't like barking at anybody. Wasn't going nuts. She just was cruising with me, and so it was awesome that she was like a truck dog, and that's when I was like, all right, like I gotta adopt her. She's a really good dog. So I adopted her, no regrets at all. Like I'm really glad that my friend was fostering her. Um, she went through the heartworm treatment. Beat that, and she's doing good. Charlotte came about because my sister does fostering for a like special needs group, like a rescue. They typically do like blind dogs or deaf dogs or whatever kind of dogs, like special needs. Well, another puppy mill surrendered Charlotte and her brother because Charlotte was deaf and her brother had the elbow joint like deformity, and he looks like you wouldn't even know it. You don't know it until he walks. Like Charlotte runs like a horse, like she's gone like a gazelle. Um, Her brother kind of like his elbows, instead of being like bending like this, they kind of stick out sideways, right? That's why I call it the bulldog look. That's the only thing wrong with him. Like he hears fine, and he's fine in every other way. My sister was fostering him, and I had thought about getting a second dog for Havana to have a buddy while I'm at work. And then my sister was talking about adopting the boy Dalmatian. And I just kind of thought it would be cool, like, as far as me and my sister, brother, sister, getting a brother and sister dog. So she adopted the boy, I adopted the girl, and it turns out I got the better end of the deal. I think they thought that they were getting the better end of the deal, being that the dog could, the boy could hear and see and everything, and I got the deaf one. But it turns out, if you guys can see her, she's curled up in a ball. This is how I have to sit on the couch, spread eagle so she can curl up in a ball between my legs because she likes, I don't know, she likes being on somebody. But anyways, she's been really good. Potty training sucked. It really did. So, you would catch her, like, you tell, like, when potty training, you could tell when they're about to pee on the floor. And normally you could yell at them, like, hey, like, let's go outside. Well, being deaf, she can't hear you yell at her. Can't, tell her to stop. Like, maybe if you had, like, a slipper, you could toss it at her or something. But that was the hardest part. And she had a ton of accidents. I think she just couldn't physically hold it because once she got to a certain age, I think she just was able to hold it longer. But Mickey said, like, vibration communication. Can Charlotte communicate, hear, feel if you're humming while hugging her? Extra sensitive. So Charlotte can feel vibrations, like, very well. If Havana started barking right now, Charlotte would know it. She can feel like the vibration in the air. Um, she's like 100% deaf. She can't hear anything at all. I tried like different like dog whistles, like different pitches, just to see, and she's completely deaf. Um, I used to be able to come home at lunch, open the garage door, open all the man doors, and she would be on the couch. Didn't even know I was here, right? Well, now she knows when I come home for lunch because she's got it like set to like a mental time clock. Um, I have a camera. It's up on the like mantle, so I can like check in on them. It's part of my like security system. It's kind of cool. Like if the security alarm goes off, like all the cameras throughout the house like automatically start recording. Well, anyways, I can use my phone at work and check in on them. Well, I work like 5 minutes away from home, like literally 5 minutes. It's 3 miles down the road. So if I leave work at 5, I'm usually home like 5:05, 5:10 if there's traffic. At 5 o'clock, if I get on the camera, she gets up off the couch and she sits at the end of the couch, like this way, and just stares at the laundry room door, the fish room door. That's the man door to come in from the garage. She stares at it, waiting for me to come home. And she does that at lunchtime as well. I typically always take my lunch break around 11, um, sometimes like 11:30, but I always try to go before noon. We try to space our lunches out at work. Me and one guy go typically early, usually like 11, 11:30, and then the other guys go at like noon or even later. And a couple guys don't ever leave; they just always pack a lunch. I don't pack lunch. I always come home so I can let the dogs out, and I do shipping orders, hard goods, or if there's fish orders. Those go out Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. But she's always like waiting for me, which is kind of cool. But yeah. So as far as vibrations, she can definitely feel them. She's got this thing where like she'll, when she wants affection, she'll put her face like if this is her snout. She gets sideways, and you basically like kiss like the side of her head, and she can feel it, right? And she likes that. She likes that feeling of you like kissing her. But I'm gonna move up because I haven't honestly been watching the chat. JN Aquarium, hello. Okay, that's where I was. Let me scroll down. Moonstone said, "Oh my God, so sad with the heartworm. Sounds like a shit breeder." Yeah, to be honest, there are good breeders out there that have like either really nice kennels or like dog runs. I'm pretty sure she was at like a really shit one where it's like a small kennel cage. Terrible. Jan says Roscoe loves truck rides. That's what sold me on her was her being an awesome truck dog, and she knows like when I don't want to say right now because she'll get excited, but I say I can't even say that word. Do. She's staring at me now. The word do. But do you want to go for a truck ride? Oh no. She gets super excited and she's super chill in the truck. Charlotte, she moves around too much. She's not. If I had to go on a long car ride and I could only take one dog, it would definitely be Havana, because Charlotte like constantly goes from like the back seat of my truck to the front seat, back, front, back, front. Um, Havana just plops her butt down and wants her head out the window. Chevy Fish, the Dalmatians are known for being hard to potty train. I didn't know that. I know that Dalmatians are known to actually have a high rate of being deaf. which I didn't know that until I got her. They just have a high percentage of having litters be deaf. Moonstone says, deaf dogs do fine, same as humans. Blindness is a lot more difficult, my opinion only. So my sister, so she's got the brother, right? Her other dog, which unfortunately actually had to get put down last week due to kidney failure, 3 years old. She had a pity mix. Her name was Daffodil. Uh, I'm not like a flower type person name, but she was super, super awesome, sweet dog. She was blind. But this dog being blind was so helpful to other dogs since my sister does fostering these special need dogs. Daffy is what my nephews call her. Daffy was like a really good companion dog with helping out these other dogs. And when I had my heart issue a couple years ago, I before I had Havana, I borrowed Daffy and brought her here as kind of a companion dog, I guess, or I don't know the word I'm looking for, but like a dog for me to help with like my anxiety and stuff I had. But she was an awesome dog. Nick said maybe Havana barks if she knows if it's you. She doesn't bark at all when I come home. Um, she's like a very chill, lazy dog. I mean, right now she's on the couch over there. Um, I can watch a video like at 4:55 if I pull up my camera. Charlotte will be on the couch just laying here, and then like sure as shit, 5 o'clock hits, she's up. Havana hasn't moved. She just has that time clock, that internal time clock going on. Moonstone says, at SEO Quacks, I see you have enough subs, me included. Where are you at in terms of watch hours for monetization? I haven't checked this week. Last week I was at, I needed like 300 more hours, somewhere around there, 350 more hours. I haven't checked this week, so I don't know what's at. Live streams actually are probably the biggest help because, you know, there's always 20 of you guys that are here every week. Right now there's 27 of you. And being that we're on here for, it says right now, 83 minutes. Now, granted, maybe 27 of you guys haven't been here the whole time, but 15 of you have. That's over 15 hours added every single week. But live streams are probably the best way to add time because there's a lot of interaction. You know, like right now we're talking to each other, so people really stay engaged. But yeah, last week it was just over 300 hours. Zen says Steven won't put all of his videos in one playlist. So, no, but you can go to the channel and click play all. I think it only does like uploads versus live streams. But you probably do play all on the live streams too. But I do playlists on like how I feel like the video fits. So if it's like a fish room update, it goes into like the fish room updates, or it's like a how-to video goes into the how-to playlist. But you should be able to just go to like my YouTube channel, and then there should be a play all button. If you want to do that, that'd be awesome. Let's see where I'm at. Moonstone said, the Zen Ginger y'all got his school in different. Maybe he doesn't know how. I don't know how. Maybe you're talking about something else. Mickey said Havana, not Savannah. Yeah, a lot of people call her Savannah, but it's Havana. That was her name before I got her, and I kept it. Nick said Dalmatians love to drive fire trucks. I'm pretty sure. So Nick's a local guy to me, guys. Um, Literally on the same street as my house, there's a fire station, like 2 blocks down. So I think this summer I'm going to walk her down there and see if I get a picture of her like on the fire truck. I think they would love it. You know, the firemen there, and then I like to get a good picture of her. It's a classic fire dog. That's a cute, cuddly one. Zen said Moonstone, he has many playlists. I think he's just being difficult. Moonstone says it's a double recessive because poor groomers don't DNA test for the trait. Nick said must be an internal clock. Yeah, she's got an internal clock going on when I get home. Mickey said, I often try to put your playlist on. I know you mentioned that before. I do appreciate that. Zen says, Steven, make sure you add these last few live streams into this playlist at least. Yeah, I need to do like a live stream playlist or something. Moonstone said, at SC Aquatics, Steven, question mark, my dad raised those. Dalmatians? Is that what you're talking about? Your dad raised Dalmatians? So the only Dalmatians I ever came across before, obviously having Charlotte, was my dad's friend had, I don't know if he had 2 of them or just one. I remember, and I was little. I remember him having a Dalmatian. But other than that, like everybody, like not everybody, but a few people I ran into said Dalmatians were like super mean, and you know, I don't believe when someone says that, because you know everybody said that about pit bulls, and I have like a super awesome pit bull. I just can't see Charlotte being a mean dog to people, but you know, Nick said I heard not great with kids. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. I know that Charlotte's been around kids, and she's been around an infant, and she's been around like I know you go by months, but a year and a half. Like, so would that be like an 18-month year old, your 18-month old without issues, 2-year olds without issues. Like, I don't know. So far, so good. You know, maybe it's the way they're treated, or I don't know. But so, you know, not to say that nothing couldn't happen, but you know, maybe it's just a stigma. Moonstone said, long story regarding genetic temperament. I'll spare you. Uh-oh. Calendar. Somebody say something about calendar. Oh, my dad's here. Let's see the eggs again. Where did they come from? They came from my axolotls. They're kind of like a salamander. He said he had 1 Dalmatian. It was hyper. Yeah, I don't remember it that well. I remember the Dalmatian, but that's about it. I don't know. Am I in top chat again? Zen, what are you talking about calendar? Yes, you need an SE Aquatics calendar with mostly fishies, but throw in a fire truck pick. Oh, I see what you're talking about now. I just gotta read it. Could be a July and Santa hat pick of Havana for December. Good. Make sure a picture the acrylic tank is in the calendar. Man, Nick. I feel like I robbed you, man. After getting this, I did a water change on that tank tonight. I was like, man, this tank is looking good now. You know, the water clarity's, you know, it's clearing up pretty good. I got a lot of the fine particles out. And, did you show it already? Yeah, it was in the beginning of the stream. I can go show it now. Of course, now that I did a water change. Oh, sorry, sugar, but now that I did a water change, it's probably a little cloudy, but I can go back there. And my water's that way. I need more water. All right, let me put you guys back in the tripod. Don't break my phone. All right, cool. So yeah, there's the tank. It's actually not. It's not perfectly clear right now, but it does look. So with me looking at it, there's a lot of particles because I did do the water change on my phone. It looks crystal clear. I don't know how it looks on your guys' end, but let me. Cool. Now I can see the chat a lot easier. Nick said, you do a ton of volunteer work for How to Fish Grow. I'm paying it forward. I do appreciate it, man. I do appreciate it. Did I mention about the trio of Plecos? So this whole tank, and there's, you know, babies everywhere. Pretty much everywhere you look. Got a breeding trio of super reds. And I talked about like last live stream, and I don't know. No, obviously I did a video on the acrylic, so I did talk about that. Somebody contacted me locally, maybe an offer for the trio, and I just couldn't turn the offer down, so I did sell the trio. So I won't be breeding the super reds. I do have all of the babies. I do plan on growing them out and selling those off, but I want to do long fin green dragon plecos. So I found a breeding pair of those that I'm going to buy and put in this tank and do green dragons. Nick said, did you fix the top of the acrylic? I did not. So it's still basically how it was. And for now, it's working out. I do need to put that extra piece on top. I don't know if you guys can see it. The bubbles are, you know, it's splashing a little bit, so I think I need to set it on top. Try to help evaporation stay down and keep the heat in and all that fun stuff. I'm tempted to breed tiger severums, rare. Think it's worth my time. If it's you know, you said that was, you know, your favorite fish. If you like the fish, it's worth your time for sure. Whether or not you get rich off of breeding them, but if it's something that keeps you interested in the hobby or keeps you interested in that specific fish, definitely breed them. You know, even if you're highly successful or not successful, it'd still be fun to go along the routes. It's just, I guess, if you're trying to breed them and you can't, it could be discouraging. But you know, definitely give it a shot. Zen's on top of it. She posted a link to restoring this tank, because when I got this tank, you couldn't really see, well, at least through the sides, you definitely couldn't see into it. The front wasn't as hateful, but did get it pretty good. It's got water spots all over it. You need to wipe it down, but Moonstone says, I'd love to try a different Pleco, just don't have the room. Uh-oh. Sorry, the stream probably just froze because I got a battery warning message. I'm at 10%, so my phone's going to be dying here pretty soon. We're up to 32 people in here. That's awesome. Moonstone said at SCR, green dragons, the carnivorous, like the L46. So they are, let me look up the technical term. not carnivorous. They eat like green beans. I was gonna say herbivore, but I'm sure there's probably a different name for that. Because I know on the Repashy, they have these different names. I don't have it out. Since now I can't stop watching all the little Pleco swimming all over, are they? There's one right there. There are 3 on the heater. They're on the plants, on the Pleco caves. The one that I got nervous about is that, so I don't know if you guys can see it. It's on both of these box filters. They're actually like on the airline, like in the bubbles, like in that flow. Well, they'll start climbing down it, and they actually go inside the box filter. It makes me nervous because I'm afraid they're going to get to the bottom of the box filter and then get up and then stuck in it. But so far, they don't go all the way down and like up and under. They just get into a lift tube. I think they just really like that flow. But yeah, there's roughly. I was told there was 25. I know I had a DOA right out of the bucket when I got home, so there was 25. There was 24, and I did see I lost one of them. So I think there's 23-ish in there. Nick says, "Do you have nearite snails again?" I do. Let me see. Let me see if they're on the website. So I think they're just the tiger ones. That's not what I wanted. Yeah, just the tigers are here. I don't have very many of them. They've been selling like crazy. And I don't know if anybody's looking for rabbit snails. I found one in one of the 29-gallon tanks. I thought I was sold out, and I just got lost in all the plants that's in one of them. So I have one of them right now if anybody's been looking for them. I was selling them as groups of 3 because I saw a lot of people were doing that online. But then I realized, I'm like, rabbit snails, I mean, they're not huge, but they're kind of long. So I'm like, maybe people want only one, like in a 10-gallon. So I just cut it. Instead of selling 3, I sell 1 at a time. And I got 1 left. I'm on the website right now looking at them. I need to get pictures of the ram's horns. Everybody knows, like, pretty much what a ram's horn snail is, but I just don't like that it says no image. I need to get a picture of some on there. Mickey found some L239s, $80+. The problem with wholesalers, I mean, $80 too, but they're always small. You know, it's not like you're getting breeding pairs. Breeding pairs are a ton of money because some plecos, you know, they have to be a certain size to breed, but some of them, it's also age. You know, it could take a while to get them up to maturity. So breeding plecos are fetching a lot of money. It could be like a standard, like an albino, a longfin albino, and the breeding pair could be worth quite a bit of money. Moonstone said, "Wait, just notice, yeah, L46 Beanie Baby on the tank. It's a Green Pleco is the brand. It's a suction cup. I also have a Betta Fish one." L46s would be super sweet to have in this tank too. They're on the wholesale list. They're still expensive as shit right now. They used to be like half the price like years ago. I'm trying to think if I have a current wholesale list. I don't know. What are L46s selling for, like online or retail? Like any of your guys' stores have them? I haven't seen them in any local stores here, but I'd be curious what they're going for. And then Moonstone, or was it cichlids? Who was talking about how many hours I need left? Because I can look that up right now since I'm on the computer. I am... That's not what I wanted. Okay, so Nick said, do I need to worry about South American cichlids eating them? Probably, to be honest. So I don't know if it was my last Acara I got, or if it was my polar blue convicts I had in my 75. One of them killed all my neorites, and that's like, a while ago. Zen said about $200. That's a lot of money. I need less than 200 hours right now. I'm at 3812. So less than 200 hours, right? Right? Yeah. So I'm almost there. So I don't know if this is a live update. I don't know who was asking that. If it's not live, this live stream by itself will get me pretty close. Not pretty close. It'll get me closer for sure. Oh, I noticed I'm at 1,200 subs now too. That's awesome. So maybe by another week or two, yeah, it might be monetized. That'd be cool. Because I do have... Oh, wait, this says... Alright, so it's not a live update. Because that page said I had 1,200. This page says I have 1,204. So it's not like completely a live update, but it's pretty close. I forget what I was doing. What was I doing, guys? Oh, I was going to see if I could look up L46s. If they're available this week. It sucks because like everything was available pre-virus. The lists were long and plentiful. Where are you? There you are. Nope, they're not on the list. So, they're not on the list this week, but regular bushy nose are. And this wholesaler typically doesn't sell regular bushy nose, so that tells me they're having problems getting in Plecos. Let me see the chat. Winston says they are true carnivores, so a different deal than usual bushiness people are into. I'm assuming you're talking about the L46s. Ooh, turned down a colony of 50 2 years ago. Dang. So in Sweden, the L46s are going for approximately $280, $440 if bought from German breeders. So I know a guy in my fish club is breeding them. I don't know what he's selling them for. I think this is his website. I don't see them on his website right now. Yeah, I don't see him on his website right now. But I did see on like his Facebook that he has them. It's Jeremy Bosch. I'm sure you guys have heard of him. I think Aquarium Co-op's done a tour. They have done a tour of his fish room. He's local to me. Mickey say, as you said, Steven, you never know what you get mature for spawning or not size slash gender. Wholesalers are never going to sell you a spawning L46. L46 makes so much money that if they got one in that was spawning size, they would just keep it themselves. That's for sure. Plecos from the wholesalers are probably an inch big at max. I sold some. I can't remember if it was the clown stripe. I think it was clown stripes to Zen, and she said that she got them like pretty quickly, like 3 times the size. They come in, they're tiny, they're little babies. They're easier to ship when they're that small, but you know, plecos with these farms, they're just producing them, ship them. The smaller they are, the less waste in the bags, stuff like that. But yeah, they're not going to sell. Now, wholesalers will sell bigger ones for more money, obviously, because I did see that wholesaler did have a 14-inch Pleco for sale. Mickey says, should have bought the 2 L46s for $150. If you could have got 2 of them for $150, that would have been a good deal. They're so sought after right now. Super Reds used to be like fairly expensive for a bushy nose, and now they're way down in price. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to sell mine at yet. I mean, I need to put some size on them, and there's definitely 2, maybe 3 different batches of fry in this tank based off their size. So I know I bought them online before, and I hated that they were so tiny. Because when they're really, really tiny, they're not very red at all. It's like the older they get, the darker red they get. So I want to try to get these guys some size. There's actually there's a few in there that have decent size on them already. I've been feeding them Repashy, and it's definitely working. It's bulking them up. I'm using I actually blended Morning Wood and Bottom Scratcher together, and they've been going to town on it. Minnesota said, people generally want the less expensive but still pretty fish. Yes, that is true. What's the false zebra Pleco? False zebra Pleco. L129s. So that doesn't look it. So false zebra Pleco, the L. See this. This picture shows it as different. This one is showing it way more orange. There's a couple L129s that are like white, and when you look at it, you know it's not a zebra Pleco, but you get that white and black striped look to it, so it's a good candidate for something that's way less expensive that still looks pretty cool. Oh, I try to find $13. That seems really cheap. Who else has them? So this says L270 false zebra. $89. L270. I'm not very great with the L numbers as far as memorizing them. L270. Let me look that up. Oh, I should do another StreamYard stream so I can share my desktop screen on the stream. Yes. See, when you do a Google image search for L270, it brings up 10 pictures and they're all different. Every single fish is different from the next. So I don't ever trust the image search. All right, there we go. Planet catfish. Common names: LDA 076, chocolate is zebra pleco, L270, and L307. It's a hypoancestris. There we go. Mike says I have 3 L270s. They don't look like a real zebra pleco. Is yours white or is it more orange? Because like I keep getting these random pictures. Some are white striped and some are like kind of orange looking. Oh, Zen said the clown is a little over twice the size, not 3 times, but won't be long. It's loving the discus tank, but I do wonder if I'm shortening the lifespan at a warmer temp. What temperature are you keeping your discus at? Yeah, like 86 with them? Zen says king tigers are cool plecos. L333, I think. Yes, L333 is the king tiger pleco. Yes, you are correct. Set 82. That's not terrible. It's probably a little one, but I think it'll help them put on good size though too. Mickey said bought 3 L397s. Let me look it up so I know what you're talking about. Tiger pleco. Ooh, those look nice. Yeah, plecos are cool. I don't know. They're cool fish for sure. And I do remember, growing up with the fish tank and getting algae on it because I had the fish tank right underneath the window. So it's all full daylight every day. Going to the pet store, buying a common pleco to take care of the algae on the glass, not knowing how big they got. And I never had one long enough for it to get monstrous, but Let's see here. Mike says, Steven, if you're looking for some cool Plecos, the local cafe member is selling some pretty reasonable, like 25 each, and they're decent size. What kind of Plecos, or did you say? Are you talking about like the 270s? The all these Plecos came from Josh Swanson. Mike, he's from Cafe. Moonstone said the non-carnivore, non-cool bushiness can sure clean up a tank. Not sure if the carnivorous ones are the same. So I have a bunch of just standard bushy nose. I think they're chocolate, maybe calicos, part of their parents. Hobbyist bred from Ryan, who's the bearded fish keeper from like Ohio Fish Rescue. He's up there a lot. I put them in like 2 tanks in the fish room, and now I've been trying to catch them out and put them in other tanks because they do a really good job at cleaning the glass. Plecos, L066, 494s, 333s, 270s. Who is it? That's not what I wanted. I know, I think he does. Jeremy Bosch does a lot, but I think he's mainly like wood cats. Message me on Facebook. He doesn't want his name out there. Okay. See what Jeremy has right now. I don't know. Does it say when his list is updated? He's got. Okay, it must be fairly updated because he says he's doing porch pickup because of everything going on. He's got Raphael cats, gold marble bushy nose, Rio Meta bushy nose, CW 3435s, duplicate Corey's F1s, oil woodcat F1s, speckled woodcats F1s. Oh, he does have. Oh, I was gonna say he does have the zebra Plecos, but he's sold out. It sucks because it doesn't show the price; it just says sold out. But oh, guys, my phone's about to die. Let me end this before my phone dies, and I probably lose stats to the stream or something. All right. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm just going to try to rush this. Oh, lights are going out. So everything's dying right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for the support. Maybe this time next week I'll be monetized. We'll celebrate somehow. But as always, stay fishy, as Ohio Fish Rescue says, and all that fun stuff. Whatever else. But I'll see you guys. I need to end this before my phone dies. Smash that like button on the way